The following comes to you to potbean.com live cast in the artist realm with Sylvia Stein. Here we go. Okay. And good afternoon. I am author Sylvia Stein, and welcome to another live cast of In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein through potbean.com. Happy Thursday. I hope those that are tuning in are able to listen to this live cast. I apologize for any background noise. I do have my kids here. I'm in another room, but you can still hear them. So my deepest apologies if you hear any background noise. Anyway. I do have teenagers, two boys, and my daughter's 10, so it gets pretty hectic. But I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. I know we're going through a very tough time. I want to first and foremost, say I hope you're doing well under the circumstances, and I hope you're having a good day. So, good afternoon. I am Sylvia Stein, and this is In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein. So thank you for joining me if you're tuning into this live cast that podbean.com provides and we're able to do. Now, for the past two live casts, I've been doing talking about my book, Battered Mind, and I wanted just to share a few more details of it. Right now, I'm working currently on each part differently. I have three parts so far that I've separated it into, and I'm doing each part individually to fill in the gaps of what needs to be done. This is a thriller. All copyright is owned by me, Sylvia Stein, and I've been working on this a while. And one of the things that has really helped me through this process is using the index cards, or, like you get those white little cards and you write, or sometimes they sell blue and pink and different colors. I am able to use each part and write it on an index card. And then also my composition books, I fill in all the stuff I need to write, then put it on my computer. And then, of course, my playlist, as I said, the classical dark. I have a song for each of the characters, which carries my story. So that has been very interesting. And of course, I've done research up for it about the crime scene and the things that need to get done. So I've been doing extensive research on each part, but I'm taking it into a different, for each week, I do a different, so that way I don't mix it up. I've been individually doing each part. I don't know if some of you that work or construct your stories, if that's your process, but if you want to share your own um, type of experience that you have when you write a story or when you work on a book, you're more than welcome to um, climb in here in my discussion right now. I don't know if I'll be able to answer. I think I can. It does have where you can call in and give your own opinion of it if you're listening to this podcast now. But I just wanted to kind of share my own experience with my writing. Every book was different. This has been a little longer. I do have an editor. I do have a deadline. She was very kind enough to extend my deadline. A lot of it had to do because with this COVID-19 and us being home, and as most of us moms do, when we have our children home, we tend to take care of all their stuff, and then when it comes to our stuff, it's secondary always. So my mind needed to remember that I do have to work on my stuff as well. So I'm now balancing a schedule of how I'm going to be working on my book and why I'm working on it, and asking those kind of questions. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to give an update on this thriller, which I hope it'll start getting edited in May. Maybe by June or July I may have it, and maybe I want to say an August September release. If not, maybe December or early January. So that, or I may even wait till February, but we'll see. But I am very excited about this thriller. The characters, one of the main characters that I have, her name is Sadie, and something happens to in the beginning. There's a crime that has to be solved, or and we you go through the steps of what happened. Did this really happen, and why? And I've been working on this story for a long while. I have a lot of influences, mainly reading a lot of the books by Leanne Moriarty, Big Little Lies, The Nine Perfect Strangers, you know, and so many of her books. And of course, there's Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl, Sharp Little Objects, all these, all these different things that she wrote. And of course, Paula Hawkins, The Girl on the Train. And now I've been very highly influenced with Ruth Ware and her books, In a Dark, Dark Place, and The Lying Game. I mean, there's so many. And of course, the classic, ones like Julie Garwood, and of course the sentiments, and, try to add a little bit of the sentiment that Jodi Picoult is very known for, in her stories, because these characters have, you want to follow their journey and why this happened and connect with them. So I hope that you will. So there's been a lot of big influences as far as writing in this story, but I just wanted to give you an update, part three of where I'm at, dividing each of the parts. I'm working on part two right now, and then filling in the gaps. And then of course, next week will be all about the third part, and then trying to put everything together. So it's coming along pretty well. And like I said, I don't know what your process is as far as what you write. I use a lot of composition books, index cards. Sometimes I use post-it and stuff like that. So it's just like I said, sometimes you just have to, there's a lot of things that you can do and add and share. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can change, especially when you're working on your own book. So I just, like I said, all the music today is provided by GarageBand. So, I just wanted to make sure that we give me a second here. That that the music that I use is GarageBand for this podcast. As far as my podcast, In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein, I hope that, I see someone's in here. Thank you for joining, Chili Jelly. Thank you for joining in the live cast here. I am Sylvia Stein, In the Artist Realm. I'm doing a live cast. I'm talking about my book update. I mostly share artist stuff on my podcast. You can check out all the episodes. I just recently started doing the live cast through Podbean, and I'm sharing about my book and the concept of how I work on my book. I've the process of how I work on my book. But I also have, hopefully we'll have other artists and authors and different people speaking. Hopefully, if not mid-April, maybe in May, I'll have some more author interviews for artists as well as authors. But today is all about, I'm talking about the process of my latest book, Battered Mind, which is a thriller that I've been working on. And like I said, my biggest influences are Gillian Flynn, Leanne Moriarty, Ruth Ware, Paula Hawkins. Of course, Stephen King is a little bit of it. I'm not a big horror. I do enjoy the horror genre, but just a lot of the suspense. And I want to say a little bit of the Julie Garwood, author in this book. So it's taken me a bit to write, but I kind of wanted to give an update to all the listeners or people that wonder about this book that I've been working on for a while now, and when I'm going to bring it to you guys. This is my first thriller. A lot of the playlists that I've used are darker, classical dark, mostly a lot of not music that has too much lyrics in it, although some of the characters do get influenced by other type of music, like for example, heavier rock music like Vermilion by Slipknot. Some of the music is by Korn. the band Korn, and also, of course, there's some In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. Some of that music has influenced this story as well, but I mostly rely on the classical dark pieces, and those are on Spotify. And a lot of the characters have a specific song that goes with them, and that's what carries the story. So I hope that when you listen back to this live cast, you'll be able to hear of the different things that I've been working on with this story. And if you have your own account of how you write your own story or your own book, and you have the process that you do, please feel free to let me know. You could also email me at sylwriter07 or just send a message to me on Facebook on my page In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein through podbean.com. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of share an update. This is part 3 of my process in working on my book, and the influences I have with my book as far as the authors, and of course the playlists that I use within the story. So I hope that you like this live cast. It's a short one. It's not very long. But if you have your own questions about what I've said today, please make sure to let me know, or please be sure to email me, or you can let me know, leave a comment on the podcast and say, this is what I enjoyed, what I didn't enjoy, whatever it is. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support for my podcast. I started this podcast in 2016, and it's been almost, I believe it's 4 years now that I've been doing In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein. And I hope to bring you artists as well as authors, and to talk about their work. And I hope to also bring them on a live stream soon. And if you're dealing with this coronavirus or COVID-19, please be safe, take care of yourself, and take care of your family. I know it's easier said than done, but I hope we'll get through this together. And I hope this podcast, you've enjoyed this short broadcast today. I'll try to bring you more full episodes of In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein through podbean.com very soon. Have a great one, and I appreciate you tuning in, and happy Thursday. And all music today was provided, the brief music that I provided was through GarageBand. You have a great one. Thank you for joining me today, and have a happy Thursday. This has been a broadcast, live cast through podbean.com, through In the Artist Realm with Sylvia Stein through podbean.com. Have a great one.